What's up, guys, and welcome. It's InfernoKun back with my Q&A number 12, I think. Yeah, so it's my September Q&A where you guys can ask me questions about Telltale or anything in general, Life is Strange or anything. If you guys do have any questions for next month's Q&A, post them down below in the comments and I'll get to as many as I can. I had a bunch of awesome comments or questions in the last video, so I'll get to as many as I can in this Q&A. Number one, the first question coming from, I believe, Dead Among Us. Give me a second. Dead Among Us asking, what would you think of a Telltale game based on TV shows Chuck, Dexter, or even Breaking Bad? I haven't heard of Chuck, and I have heard of Dexter, but never watched it. But I have seen Breaking Bad, and I would love Telltale to get that license and do a game of that. With new characters, of course, probably like, you know, upcoming druggies trying to get their meth on the market, and that would be pretty cool. Dexter, I know it's like a detective show, I think, so I can't say much about that, and haven't heard of Chuck, so those are my answers. Breaking Bad, Telltale, please. Go to AMC and, like, pitch out something. That'd be cool. Then you ask, hey Inferno, if you were to rank the main villains in every Telltale game, how would you rank them? You pick these 8 ones, so I'm gonna go through these like kind of quickly so I won't waste time. But number 8 definitely has to go to Stranger because he was a kind of a backseat villain. He didn't show up in person till episode 5, the kind of last scene, and we didn't have time to go ahead and like develop a hate for him. So number 7 goes to August, him being the, I guess, kind of a sidekick villain to Valerie, his mother. So August had definitely been a pretty much a pain in the butt, but he definitely hasn't really done anything too bad. He's been a bit sympathetic to Fiona and Sasha, so that goes there. Number 6 goes to Lud Whitehill. He hasn't done anything like too bad. He mostly been embarrassing or humiliating Roderick, or even, you know, even like almost killing Ryan, but he didn't do it. And he watched Ethan die, which he caused basically by getting Ramsey in there. So definitely has to go to Lud. Number 5 goes to Crooked Man in Wolf Among Us. He was a backseat villain. He didn't do anything. He didn't like do the action. He had his goons, Tweedledee and Dumb and Bloody Mary, handle stuff for him. He definitely was the ringleader, but he didn't do the stuff himself. So that goes to Crooked Man. Number 4 goes to Vasquez in Tales. Now, he has been a nemesis to Reese and a pretty funny, yet pretty, you know, hard-hitting villain. And that's pretty much it. He's just an awesome villain. Number 3 definitely goes to Carver in Walking Dead Season 2. He was a great villain through his, you know, will, and he definitely was a force to be reckoned with, and he was overall a great villain. Number 2 has to be Valerie in Tales. She has been a pretty ruthless villain. When she says she wants to stab somebody, if you don't help her, she will do it. She can stab Vaughn and she can stab Sasha, and she will twist that knife if you don't do what she says. So definitely Valerie. She's been a pretty big one. And number 1, you all know, Griff Whitehill. Enough said about that. He is completely awful. He's been doing the punching. He's been doing the kicking while down and stuff like that. He even killed Asher or Roderick. I hate him. I hate Griff so much. But anyways, moving on. Next question from JRS TV 12 asking, favorite holiday? Definitely Christmas, because that long Christmas break from school and getting gifts and receiving gifts, or receiving gifts and giving gifts. So definitely Christmas. Then you ask favorite season. Definitely summer, because summer vacation, I love it. It's so warm and I love being warm. And number 3, you asked, what do you hate worse, cold or hot weather? I cannot stand cold weather. It's almost, well, it is fall now and I'm gonna die. It's gonna be so cold, man. I hate cold. So yeah, moving on. Question from Dragon Ball Radiant asking, have you ever seen an anime called Hellgirl? If so, not saying you would, but who would you give to her and ultimately send them to hell? I haven't heard of that, haven't seen it, but can I send you to hell? No, I'm joking. I would send my friend Dekan. Yeah, I'm sorry. Move on now. Question from Matt Dog HD asking, rank the Telltale protagonists from best to worst. That is a video idea for the future. So I'm gonna skip that. Good one though. Question from Wati Gaming asking, who do you like more, Mira or Fiona? I definitely like Fiona more because I love Fiona. She's badass in every way. Mira hasn't had a bunch of exciting scenes. The Damien scene was definitely awesome. The Lyman Lannister and Andros scene was definitely pretty cool too. And the scene rushing to get the decree from Tyrion's room was definitely good, but other than that, it hasn't been really exciting for Mira. Fiona has had a bunch of awesome scenes, and she's a pretty funny yet pretty awesome character in Tales, so definitely Fiona. Then moving on, question from Jack asking, do you think Dontnod will continue their Life is Strange series in a second season, or make another adventure game, or go back to a project similar to Remember Me? Now, if you guys don't know, I think at E3 or some other event, Dontnod announced a new game. It's called Vampire. It's a vampire RPG game. So, I think it's a full release game. You guys can go look it up. Type in VAMP. Is it like YR? Yeah, VAMPYR. Vampire. It's gonna be a full release game coming out in 2017. So, I guess they're going back to making full released adventure games. Now, there definitely is a chance that season 2 of Life is Strange can happen, definitely. But for right now, with their project of Vampire, I'm not sure what they're going to be doing with Life is Strange in the future. So, Vampire is definitely coming out, their project, and they're working on that. So, that's pretty much it. And then you ask, do you think Chloe will stay dead in the final episode of Life is Strange? Do you think Max will somehow find a way to reverse time before her death? I don't know, because like I think that it might be user determined, depending on your choices throughout the season or your final choice. You know, like go back and save Chloe, but it could end up Arcadia Bay could get destroyed because of that, or maybe even, you know, save her, Arcadia Bay gets destroyed or something like that. I don't know, but I think it's kind of optional. So anyways, moving on, question from What's for Dinner asking, do you think there will be a huge battle between the Forresters and the Whitehills in episode 6? I sure hope so, because I love to see all of our characters being used to fight this war with the Whitehills. Bloodsong, Amaya, Beshka, everyone, Asher, or even Roderick, fighting the Whitehills, leading up to the final battle between your character and Griff. I want to fight him in a fair battle. Just, you know, do it for me, in my case, do it for Roderick. Fight Griff fairly. Would fairly be a good thing, because, you know, I want to have a fair fight with him. A fair fight to prove that I am better. And then when I beat him, I want to just do all kinds of things to him to prove that, hey, you don't mess with the Forrester. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking about that. I hope so. Definitely hope there will be a big battle in episode 6. Question from me, Tony Montanas, or something like that. I don't know. Do you think Telltale Games choices have more of an impact than Life is Strange? That's a good question, because Life is Strange has been a one project for Dontnod, and Telltale's working on Minecraft story mode, Tales, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead. Did they say Minecraft already? I don't know. But yeah, they're working on a bunch of games, so they have to work on projects throughout their whole studio. So Telltale has done a great job in terms of choices in Game of Thrones and Tales. Wolf Among Us and Walking Dead Season 2 were kind of, definitely they were good, but they weren't like up to par with what Season 1 of Walking Dead was. And Tales and even Game of Thrones are definitely improving, and I can see your choices actually mattering a lot more in Game of Thrones and Tales. So Life is Strange has taken that a big step forward. Your choices in there actually have different scenes, different outcomes, different notes and stuff like that. So in my opinion, I think that Life is Strange has more of a diverse set of differences depending on your choices. So to answer your question, yes, Life is Strange has done a better job in terms of choices, but Telltale, The dialogue, their scenes have definitely been good, but Life is Strange definitely does reign victor, in my opinion, a little bit, yeah. Question from Sonic GX98 asking, what would you want to see for a Marvel Telltale game? Okay, that's a good question. Marvel, I'm not too familiar with Marvel. I'm more of a DC guy, but hey, Marvel's still cool. But have you guys seen a show? It came on ABC, I think last year, or was it this year? Probably this year. Agent Carter. It was the story of Agent Peggy Carter, the former lover of, or the lover of Captain America. That show has been amazing, and I would love to see an Agent Carter Telltale game, because she was a badass female, and she was definitely an awesome character. I love Peggy Carter, man. She's pretty awesome. To have a game of it would be kind of like, oh, you know, how does it work out with the story, because they are making a season 2 of Agent Carter, so, you know, they have to go ahead and do the continuation of what she ended off doing in season 1. So I would want that. If not Agent Carter, I would definitely like to see a Fantastic Four game, in my opinion, or something like that, or at least like that'd be cool, because other than that, you know, I'm not too familiar with Marvel and their superheroes. Obviously I know people like Spider-Man. Okay, I'm gonna sit here and like not do that, so we'll go ahead and move on. Then you ask, which of these would you want to see turn into a Telltale game? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Transformers? Now, I was never too big in Transformers. They were like, you know, not too interesting for me. But TMNT was definitely my childhood. I loved them, all of them. They were definitely really cool, so definitely would pick TMNT. Anyways, moving on, question from the Hunter asking, giving me some bit of motivation right there. Thank you, bro. You're the broest bro. Anyways, question you asked is, if they gave you the option in Life is Strange to bring back Chloe, would you? But if you would you leave Arcadia Bay with Chloe or stay behind to die from the giant hurricane? I would definitely bring Chloe back, because why not? She's an awesome character and Max's friend. And leave Arcadia Bay or die? I definitely leave. I mean, like, it's either leave and be okay and live a good life with Chloe somewhere else, or die. So I definitely would leave. I'm sorry, Arcadia Bay, but not today. Not today. Question from Michaela. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but then you asked, if all of this was possible, would you rather Clementine be the one to get bit instead of Lee in season 1, or would you rather keep it the way it is? That's a great question. Now, if Lee were to not get bit and Clem did, that would be a whole different story. Lee would be so beat up over having Clementine die instead of him. He wanted to protect her, and he wanted to do that even if it meant him dying, and that was something that he wanted to do. So to see if Lee was like just getting all beat up over Clementine getting bit, that would be horrible for him in season 2. So I loved Lee. He was awesome. Clem is awesome too, but Lee was just amazing. So I mean, it makes sense for Lee to die for Clementine to keep going on. So definitely I'd keep it the way it is, because it makes more sense. It has this meaning of Lee dying for Clementine to go on. But if, you know, you ended up not fulfilling your goal to protect her and her dying anyway, it feels like, it feels so bad. Anyways, moving on, question from Zombie Hunter asking, who do you think the guy with the mask is in Tales from the Borderlands? My guess in the video I made was August, because of stuff connecting a little bit. But if not, a good one that I think could be it, but I don't know how it could be it, is Felix, because I kind of blew him up. Like, how would he be alive after that mini nuke blew him up? In my playthrough at least. So not sure if it would be him, but it definitely could be him. I just want a good reason of why or how he actually survived getting blown up, if it were to, you know, happen. Then you ask if in episode 5 of Tales from the Borderlands, a choice to fight Reese as Fiona or Fiona as Reese, who would you choose? And the character that you fight is going to die. It's a hard question, bro. Okay, like, it's either, you know, who survives, Reese or Fiona. Okay, now, I'm not gonna lie. Reese is my second favorite character. I love him. He's so funny, but I love playing as Fiona more because of her style of play. Is more like, oh, the badass type, but Reese is more like the Hyperion data miner guy, the hacking guy. So I like Reese as a character more, but I love playing as Fiona more, so that's definitely a hard choice for me. I'm gonna go with I fight Fiona as Reese. That's a hard one. I said it, fight Fiona as Reese, so sorry. Then you ask, are Reese and Fiona going to find the vault of the Traveler? I sure as hell hope so, because the whole goal of the season was to go ahead and find this vault and open it and get whatever inside of that vault. So to not go inside of it would be like, why? I want to see what's inside of it. I want to travel across the universe in this vault. Why not give it to us? So definitely Telltale would not do that to us, would they? They would do that to us. So yeah, we definitely will go to the vault. I hope so. Anyways, question from Michael asking, do you like the TV series of The Walking Dead? Yeah, love it. It's pretty cool. And then you ask, what month do you think The Walking Dead DLC comes out? The Michonne miniseries, now before the end of fall, so definitely fall ends December 21st, I think. So I'm thinking mid-December or at least like late November. So that's what I think. Moving on, question from Bruce Wayne, the Batman, asking, what Walking Dead character from Season 2 would you like to see a spin-off of? Now, honestly, this is a good one. Honestly, I would love to see what happens between Arvo, Mike, and Bonnie. Bonnie's kind of determinate, so, you know, probably Arvo and Mike, but I don't like them. So, I wonder how it would be to play as them. People wouldn't like it, but I want to know what happens to them, what they're going through right now. Maybe play as Arvo or play as Mike. That would be horrible, but like, I want to know. So definitely would choose Bonnie, Mike, and Arvo, their own spinoff. So, an Arvo miniseries. Sounds cool, doesn't it? Question from Cool Sunny asking, do you think Sasha or Vaughn will die in Tales episode 5? It's looking like it, honestly, but I hope not. So I'm gonna say maybe. I hope not, though. That'd be horrible. Then you ask, do you think there will be a Tales season 2? Now, I think Tales is leading up for Borderlands 3. It definitely could be in the future if Reese and Fiona actually survive the season. So definitely could be, but right now it's kind of like unlikely, but it could definitely happen. Then you say save Fiona or Sasha. Definitely would choose Sasha. I like her a lot. Then you ask, if you could revive one dead character from any Telltale game, who would it be? That's a good question. That's a good question. Definitely would choose Ethan Forrester. Ethan Forrester. Yeah, I would choose him because I love playing as him, because we were at the perspective of a young lord of a noble house that was kind of like slowly dying. Making these choices as a young lord, people aren't really agreeing with you. You're young, so they aren't really like, oh, you're reckless, you're young. So playing as Ethan, I wanted to prove them wrong. Like, I can be a good lord even if I'm not as old as, you know, my father or anything else. So definitely would choose Ethan Forrester. He didn't deserve to die like that, man. That was horrible. Anyways, question from Get It Tuttle asking, do you like me? I definitely do, get it, but you're still a fish face. Whatever you said, fish face. That was bad. That was horrible. Anyways, question from Brian asking, do you think the traitor in episode 5 was lying about you going to be ambushed at the trade for Ryan? Or do you think that he was telling the truth? I think he was telling the truth because he didn't want his house to like all perish and die and death to House Forrester. he wanted to help out House Forrester by giving away information so the Whitehills would go ahead and like stop them. So he wasn't like, oh, death to House Forrester. He was like, oh, you guys are making bad choices, so I'm gonna go ahead and rat you out. So he didn't want them to die, definitely. So definitely he was kind of like telling the truth, I think, at least. So then you ask if you had the only choice of only one member of House Forrester surviving, who would it be, excluding Asher? You know I like Asher. So one member, I probably choose Talia, because Talia definitely has potential to be a great member of House Forrester, or a great, like, she kind of like getting a bit like bloodthirsty. She wanted to go ahead and murder the traitor for what he's done, and she's been a bit like, you know, hard and ruthless. So she does have potential. Just need to unlock that potential and start training. It'd be cool for her to be a warrior or a knight or a something, a lady knight person like Breen. Now that's not possible, but you know. Question from Gabriel Smith asking, who do you think had the most character development in Telltale's Game of Thrones? I definitely would have to choose Beskha. Beskha has had a bunch of development in Asher's story. Hearing her past of how she was a slave, fighting other slaves in the pit in Marine, definitely kind of brought back a bunch of, you know, stuff and memories towards her. She hated Marine because of that, and she wanted to go ahead and kill her master because of her past. So she had a bunch of development and a bunch of stuff, you know, just thrown at us in Asher's story. So definitely would choose Beskha. Love Beskha, by the way. She's pretty cool. Anyways, question from How To Gamer asking, who's your favorite, Clementine or Asher? That's a good question. It's a hard question. My two favorite characters in Telltale, man. Okay, like, do you mean like favorite as in Iron from Ice, and then I have a freaking like Clementine mousepad? I don't know. Asher and Clementine. I'm gonna choose Asher. I'm sorry. I'm gonna choose Asher. Anyways, I'm gonna die now. I'm gonna get killed by the Clem fans. Anyways, question, do you think Mr. Jefferson and Nathan Prescott work together? It definitely could be, but it's kind of implied that they don't. Like, Nathan knows what's going on, kind of. He kind of like, you know, a bit messed up, but he knows a little bit of what's going on, or with the storm and everything else. But I think they kind of like have like a little soft working together thing, but not other than that, I'm not sure. And then you ask also, if you want to fit this one in, when will we kill that big guy who killed the beast? That is Harris, and he's going to die because he has done a lot of stuff that I want him to pay for. So hopefully soon in episode 6. That'd be great. Anyways, I guess last question coming from Tuller asking, what is the hardest Telltale choice you ever made? You put the tail behind the tail. The tail should be in front of the tail to get it right. Telltale. Yeah. Anyways, hard choice. That's a hard one. It's a hard one. Okay, hard choice definitely was choosing between Kenny and Jane in The Walking Dead Season 2 finale. Loved Kenny. Loved Jane. Didn't know who to choose. Didn't know what's going on. Stuff happened. Chose Jane. That was a hard choice. Hard choice, man. Like, putting me against, like, Jane against Kenny. I grew to like Jane a lot in Season 2. Grew to like... Kenny was pretty much great in Season 1. But in Season 2, he got a bit, like... He wasn't as good as he was in Season 1. So, that was a hard choice on me, to be honest. So, definitely was Jane versus Kenny. So that's good. That was a hard choice. But anyways, that is it for my Q&A. A bit long, if you guys don't mind. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe for more and all that good stuff. Painting in my room, you see it's red with the black stuff. You know, it's nice. I like it. I want to put like the Telltale Games logo over there, or at least like something. I don't know. I want it to be nice in here. kind of like have something, kind of like have a bit of a awesome look or an awesome scenery for when I do kind of like these videos and stuff like that. Like see, oh, Telltale Games in the background or something like that. So thank you guys for watching. It's been InfernoKun. Iron for mice or iron mice. Yeah.